All right. Well, happy May, everyone. I feel like this year is going by so fast. It's crazy. And so many changes. We have lots to talk about today. But why didn't that go? But first, I just want to give a shout out to our May birthdays. Happy birthday to Barb and Denise and Denny and Kimora and Lori and Lucretia and Makai and Melissa Castro and Melissa Lover and Yelena. Hope you guys have a great birthday month. We've got chats already. It's probably happy birthdays. Oh, hold on. I just want to make sure no one had questions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so happy birthday. Hope you guys have a great birthday month. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to our Bliss Mamas. Happy Mother's Day. Hope you guys are extra spoiled this weekend and that you get to lay there and be waited on and treated like princesses. Okay, so now into all the fun information. So first, I just want to give you guys a quick update on the NAR settlement stuff. We went over all the super heavy duty, boring stuff last month on our office meeting, but what's kind of changed, not changed, but where we're at now is they've got preliminary court approval. This just happened 8/23. So they've got preliminary approval for the proposed settlement and changes. So they're now saying that August 17th is going to be the date that these practices go into place. So that's when the changes will be in effect starting August 17th. I mean, it's always possible since it's preliminary approval that could change. I mean, we'll keep you guys posted, but as of right now, this is the latest and greatest information when that's going to happen. I'm not going to go into all this, but this is again reiterating what those changes are and breaking it down. I mean, more or less, they're like saying in about 100 different ways that you know that you cannot post commission compensation that you're offering on the MLS. And in no way, shape, or form is that going to be conveyed via MLS to any other agent. That's more or less what all of those bullet points say. They just say it about 100 different ways. Also, again, you'll be required to have compensation disclosures to sellers as well as prospective sellers and buyers. Hence, you will have to have a buyer broker agreement. You will be required, any MLS participants working with a buyer, to enter into a written agreement with the buyer prior to touring a property. So you cannot go out showing properties until you have a written agreement with your buyer. And this is all supposed to start officially August 17th. And with that being said, so they have been working on new forms for all of this. So right now there's actually 2 new forms that are in the works. One is the compensation agreement between brokers, and the other one is a broker compensation addendum, and that is an addendum to the contract. So with the settlement announcement, since they're going to be required to remove all offers of compensation off the MLS to any buyer brokers, the offer of compensation to buyer brokers can still be made outside of the MLS, as we've discussed, but there would be no mechanism for such offers to be accepted or enforced, right? Because our MLS was our binding agreement of payment. What they posted is what they had to pay and what could be enforced that they owed you as a buyer agent. So the new compensation agreement between brokers will provide a method for the buyer's broker to be compensated by the seller's broker. So that form removes the, complexity and the legal uncertainty of procuring cause, and importantly provides an enforcement structure for the Realtors Association to have jurisdiction over. So you can prove if you're owed compensation, if it comes down to having to take them, and file a complaint. Because without the MLS, there was no proof of that. So you're now going to have a broker agreement between brokers, a compensation agreement between brokers, so that you can prove that you are due that commission. They have done drafts. I mean, it's just in the early stages. It just came out. Like, I'm not going over these forms right now because I'm sure there will continue to be changes to them as the first draft just came out. So that being said, they've also come out with a broker compensation addendum, and this is to the contract. So like if there is no cooperative offer, like you talk to the listing agent and they're not offering anything, or let's say, I don't know, they're only offering, you talk to them, they're saying, yeah, we'll give you 1%. And you're like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. You know, your buyer broker agreement says 2% or whatever it says. So if you add this addendum to your contract, it would allow for the buyer to request the seller to compensate their agent, the buyer's agent, as part of the purchase contract. And then buyer can currently request seller concessions and use those funds to pay their broker. That's how it's currently allowed. But this way, we're separating that buyer broker compensation from the traditional seller concessions. So it gives you an advantage. The buyer compensation is not going to be accounted against that buyer's cap on contributions, and really spells out the differentiation between that, like buyer for seller giving the buyer closing costs in that versus giving them money to pay their agent. So the broker compensation amounts are not deducted from the sales price by the appraisers. It's all spelled out and very clear to all parties how that money is being handled. It just kind of separates those concessions and spells it out clearly to everyone, so everyone's on the same page. They're also revising the listing contract and the buyer broker agreement. I have seen on the listing contract, like they're just spelling out more about the buyer broker compensation. Like it's not going away, that line that you're offering, but there's going to be a lot more to it. Like more explanation as to how that money's being used and what it's for the seller. And the seller can opt in or opt out on the listing agreement. So it just helps you better explain the options to the seller on how that's going to work, and just keeps everyone protected and spells it all out. I also just saw that they're creating an exclusive buyer broker agreement and a non-exclusive buyer broker.
Influence Mr. Netanyahu in the district.
So there'll be two different ones, kind of like there's technically two listing agreements, the exclusive and non-exclusive, which I don't think we ever use the other one, because why would you want to say they can go work with other people and have other people list their property? That would be crazy talk. So I thought it was interesting that they're now making an exclusive and non-exclusive one for the buyer broker agreement, because basically one says like the buyer is agreeing to work with you specifically and only you. And the other one is agreement that if you show them the house and they buy it, then you'll get paid. But they're not saying, it doesn't say that they can't like look at properties with other agents. They could be out looking at houses with 5 different agents. I mean, it does spell out that they could be due, you know, if there's any issue, compensation to multiple agents, just like the non-exclusive listing agreement says. So I just find this very odd. They're making two forms, because I don't know why. I just don't know why you would have someone sign a non-exclusive, but maybe we'll see why as we get more into this. Oh, before I go into that, there was one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, about the, so I am wondering, because it's not spelled out, and this is just me spitballing. I have no knowledge. I haven't read anything. And I know you can't put compensation in the MLS, like write it into your plano. And I'm just curious, so what about these forms, like the buyer broker agreement, compensation agreement? Like, it does not say in the rules of this settlement to me that you can't put documents in the documents tab, because that's technically separate from the plano. I'm just curious, and I don't know if you have any thoughts on
Yeah.
this. Like, I'm
I
wondering,
I know what you're getting at. I don't think I would put signed docs in there. What they were saying is that MLS would change so that you can put verbiage of um sellers paying concessions, or there's even a checkbox that states that. So you can't come out and say, and I think I would be really leery about, just like I don't even like the spuds in there. I would not want people's emails or their IP addresses. Like I wouldn't want any of that stuff up. That's just me though.
yeah, and I'm
I
not
see what you're
saying we
getting
should
at, but
put it in the documents tab.
yeah,
I'm just wondering
uh-huh.
if that's
I
what it's
do
gonna come down to, and I'm just curious.
I
And this,
do
like I said,
know,
no one is saying this, no one
yeah,
is saying it's okay or not okay. It hasn't been brought up. It's just
yeah,
me being curious. But no, I would not
yeah,
be putting these forms in the documents tab
no. And
right
I
off
wouldn't
the
put
bat.
my client's info out there, but
No, no,
I
no.
know they were saying you could, even on our company site, disclose that we participate in paying buyer agents, and but you got to be careful because not all sellers are going to want to do that, right? So um I thought they were going to work on a checkbox type search item of sellers paying concessions is what I thought. So
Yeah,
I
and
guess
I
we'll
haven't
see.
seen that or any more on that. But like I said, this was also new last month, even that even like AAR was like saying, like, we don't really know. There, everyone was flying blind. And now they've come up with these documents. The drafts just came out. We still have like 3 months to figure all this out. And they've definitely made huge strides in the last month on kind of figuring out documents to help us all navigate this. I mean, I don't see any issues. It's going to be just fine. It's going to be just a different document in writing that you explain to your client, that you get signed, and it's going to be business as usual. I don't see any issues or changes beyond it's just a different way of doing it. I think
Yeah,
it,
the agents that I've been talking with in other states that have already been doing this, they're finding that sellers, when you explain it as a listing agent of like, here's the pros and cons of you wanting to pay or not pay, this is potentially what could happen, right? You're not going to get showings, you're not going to get a lot of advertisement, blah, 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 blah. So the agents that are offering compensation to a buyer's agent, they're getting multiple offers, and it is just, the purpose of these lawsuits is that you're explaining it to your clients, right?
yeah.
Explaining how and what the commission amount is. Like I literally, I was taking out buyers in my car. It's been like 5 years since doing that this past week. And they want to list a property in Payson, and they were going to use an agent up in Payson. And I said, I can list it up there for you. And he goes, well, the brokerages are telling me that it's a 6%, 5% commission. And I said, absolutely not. That's part of the big lawsuit right now. So I just said, this is what I can do for you. Um, so yeah, that's the problem, is there is no set. It's, you have to build your business model around these commissions, whether you're a buyer agent or a listing agent, and explain it properly. Sorry, Lisa, I like took over.
No, you're fine. No, no worries. I prefer to have people interject and not just listen to myself talk for the next hour. So
Yeah, and it should be discussed. Like buyers want to see you getting paid, right? They don't want you to work for free. Like, and there's a lot of stuff we as buyer agents do for free. So there's some buyers that have money and they'll pay you, and then there's some that, just like closing costs, they need seller concessions. So you're looking for sellers that are going to help out with your buyer. So it's just, guys, it's the same. It's just changing how we talk, getting some different forms signed. Um, Brand new agents coming on aren't going to know any different. So, you'll see a shift if you want to succeed, and um, those that don't want to will let their license go. So,
yeah, and ultimately sellers are going to pay a buyer agent compensation one way or another. Like they want to sell their house or it wouldn't be on the market. Like even if they
Correct.
tell their listing agent, I'm not doing this. Well, they're going to find out if they get that first offer asking for that and they say no. And the buyer's like, never mind then, because I can't get your house. They're going to learn real quick, even if it takes one time losing a buyer. Like it's not going to be like this ordeal. Like they're going to pay it. They have to move on or they wouldn't be selling their house for whatever reason. So I'm sure sellers have no issue. And I haven't seen any issues since all this came out. Like you guys are still doing business as usual, the listing agreements and the compensation splits. I'm not seeing anything change as to what you guys are turning in or how it's happening. Like sellers are still paying it. So it's nothing to be alarmed about. Just we're changing, adding a few forms, changing the way we explain it potentially, and that's about it. And it's business as usual. So anyway, there's also some new changes coming from the FCC about lead laws. And it's kind of confusing. I really spent a lot of time like trying to read through and understand, and I'll do my best to explain this to you guys. I have a lot of slides. It might be overkill of information. I can even send out the articles.
Yeah, well, and I'll post them in the news feed on Sweet Assist and everything else too, just to help out and when we upload this meeting, so.
Yeah. So basically, the consumer protection regulations from the Federal Communications Commission is trying to protect consumers from the scams and spam that are caused by the lead generator type things, mostly the robocalls and then the text. I mean, I'm sure I get so many spam texts, like it drives me up a wall. I'm so sick of them. And so that's what they're trying to stop. And they want the consumer to opt in. They want an opt-in approach, right? Like they want the consumer has to say, I want to receive these email and text messages. And the law extends the same do not call protections to CAN and spam to text messages as well. But you also have to be on the do not call list for this to apply. And they're trying to make it illegal to send text messages to numbers on the do not call registry. So trying to stop those robo-text, robo-calls to people who are on the do not call list or didn't opt into this information. So they're saying that there needs to be a clear opt-in by the consumer to that kind of communication. They want to make sure the consumer's opting into a one-to-one basis to each company that will receive their contact information. So like right now, like with Sync, it goes to whoever the lead goes to, our agent, but also a lender, et cetera, et cetera. Now they would have to opt in to get information, like so the lender can reach out and the agent like can reach out. Like maybe they just say they want to hear from the agent. That means the lender can't reach out or have their information. That's what's changing.
Correct.
They can't
So
all these people.
it's interesting because you guys, we're gonna see this kicks in December. But it's already starting to take effect. And we brought this up because if you're using a dialer, if you're just out there or you have someone for you calling, right? And there's a lot of brokerages doing this. So this followed some of those lawsuits of it needs to be the agent contacting. It can't be AI, can't be a machine doing it. So you're gonna see the software is changing. The internet leads, you're gonna see teams shifting because there's a lot of business driven off the internet leads, but this is breaking down also that where that, someone clicks on an ad because they see this house property, and then someone, whoever's doing that advertisement, is now selling that lead to 200 agents, right? That's what this just stopped. So the brokerages, the teams out there, the companies that are buying internet leads and farming them out, Realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin, I mean, I could go on. This is what's going to shift it now. Whoever's clicking on that ad, that lead is to go only to that listing agent. And the listing agent and whatever the fine print for the ads, that's what Lisa's saying, is that fine print's gotta be there, that they're consenting to be contacted. So, yeah, make sure you guys are like all the dialers are gonna be out. You gotta you need to be the one calling and texting and have okay to do it, because let me just tell you, there's already brokerages getting sued that are reaching out on the do not call lists. Sorry, Lisa.
No, you're fine. Cause like I said, it's a lot of information and probably I'm gonna just confuse people with my overkill, but but like Mara said, this came down in December of last year and they're giving people 12 months. So all the lead generation sources that to like figure it out and get their stuff in compliance.
Carol,
So
this does not apply to open houses. This is all on like internet and calling on expireds and FSBOs, like Red X sells lists. Title companies have lists. Like, you guys have to be careful that they're not on the do not call, or that it's you doing it and you're not having someone or a machine doing it. Because the people are getting tired of it, and that's what this lawsuit is about. And then also, when someone's clicking on a property, they're wanting information, they think they're talking to the listing agent. And so this lawsuit came about because people are like, wait, who are you? Why are you calling me? Right? I thought I was talking to the listing agent on this property in Gilbert. So that's what you're going to see, is that you want listings, right? Because you want those leads. They're going to be locked in to the listing agents.
yeah. So the lead generators, the website publishers, the lead aggregators can continue to sell leads to companies that do not use those artificial pre-recorded messages. And so they're saying what constitutes those was, it was actually narrowed significantly with a whole other lawsuit, which limited the terms to systems that have the capacity either to store or produce a telephone number using a random or sequential number generator. So again, the robocalls, the ones that's automatically dialing. So, and callers still need to comply with the do not call requirements. Websites decide not to try, if websites decide not to try for the seller specific consents, can reword their webpage disclosures to mirror the do not call language for an inquiry under the established business relationship exception to the do not call restrictions, which I think you would still be asking for trouble if you're not really trying to get specific consent, in my opinion, but they're kind of giving them a way around it.
Correct. We'll see a shift with the IDX that MLS is publishing too, probably also. And you'll see a lot of fine print popping up on things. It's not going to happen tonight. It's not going to happen today, but it's coming. So
yeah, and then once the seller's listed on the web page, we'll be able, so like once they've like opt in, you'll be able to manually dial the consumer, it's saying, for 90 days based on that consumer's inquiry. So it's like a time limit if they do go in, opt in, that they can call them for. As far as real estate impact, I mean, it's mostly like, we'll probably update our policy and procedure manual to kind of explain this to you guys and make sure you understand the rules. And we just need to be careful about sharing the consumer information with like our affiliated companies, the lenders, title companies, insurance reps, etc. We can't just like pass it out to everyone and they start getting calls from all these different people unless they have requested it, because we're going to end up, with lawsuits. This is just kind of an example of some of the verbiage that the disclosure verbiage that, it just went back slide. Oh, come on. Now it wants to freeze up on me. Okay. Yeah, so this is just an example of some of the verbiage that could be on like the websites that people are reading that's disclosing it into them for the opt-in, for the different language, for the portal sites, etc. It's just another one, like another way, like if they want the lender to contact them, they check the box and then it gives the disclaimer there that they understand that they're agreeing to be contacted by such and such people. So from what I was reading too, the FCC is still kind of processing the outline of their policy. So there's probably going to be some more specific information coming. It seems like there's still some unanswered questions of exactly what this is going to be doing. So there'll be more information to come. And like I said, as we learn more or anything changes, we'll keep you guys posted. And then, let's see. This is just kind of reiterating kind of what we've already talked about with compliance and what's going to happen. We don't need to read through all that. Live lead transfers, though, I did want to talk about that. So the lead generators who sell warm lead call transfers will be able to continue operating with few changes. So they can manually dial the consumers and transfer them to the seller customers without violating the new rules. So I know there's some companies that do like a live handoff for the leads. So it's not really affecting them too much because they're already in compliance or being in compliance with that do not call list, or they should be. They shouldn't be calling people on that list. And because they're manually dialing and handing off the lead, then it's okay. So that's good to know. And they can also get verbal consent during the call. Like, so you've got that. You've got website design with checkboxes for each seller to agree. You can get verbal consent. You just got to make sure that the website's identifying the company who's buying the lead before the consumer gets the consent page, because they can only sell it to one company. So like Mara was saying, that lead's going to go to that listing agent. It's not going to go out to 50 listing agents and 10 brokerages or whatever. It's only going to go to that one person because you can only send it to that one specific person. So that's kind of the good news, right? You're going to
Guys,
get,
that's a win. Yeah,
yeah, your leads are going to come back to you, not to the
correct.
whole world of realtors. So in some ways, it's actually really a good thing. So that's kind of the crust of all of that. Do you have anything to add, Mara, before I move on? Like, that was all like the meat and potatoes that I had.
Yeah, I always want to make sure we're in compliance. You know, there's a lot of big brokerages that the last couple of years have been hit with lawsuits because their agents are just robocalling all day long. And again, this is getting back to there's other ways to get leads and business. And I like the fact that it should come back to the listing agent, right? It's your clients, your business, you're doing the marketing and not being paid and farmed out to, you know, hundreds of agents. And it's whoever answers the phone first. So I think this is really, I want to focus on the positive. It's really a positive thing. And just like with everything else, our business will kind of just shift. And I think you're going to see this will affect some of those big teams that maybe you were competing against. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so I think in the end, it's probably going to be a good thing. So, but yeah, just so you guys are aware of what's coming up. We have some classes coming up. So this class we tried to do, I think it was this week, and I was the only one on it. So we postponed it. And we had asked them for a new flyer. I don't have it yet, and possibly to change the name because I think people don't realize what this class is about. This is about video content and how to do video content correctly to like do online seminars. I know we've got at least 1 or 2 agents that do online seminars, and it's been very positive and lucrative for them. And this is how to like build your video content, which also goes into everything that John's story is what we're trying to tell you to like build your, you know, buyer video library and your seller video library of explaining things, etc. So it's kind of a, like, what does that title mean? But it's actually like really good information that I think we all need. So we did push it to the next class. So instead of doing, I think it was it Reels or Agent Story? I think it was the Agent Story. It was supposed to be the 16th. I'm not even sure. I asked them for a new flyer, but anyways, this class is
Yeah.
gonna be on, we've pushed it to May 16th. It's at 1 p.m. via Zoom. You can scan to register the link there and register for the May 16th class. But it's a really good one. And I don't think you guys want to miss it, but I think that the title was a little misleading as to what it was about.
Hey, Lisa, that's the one just that everybody was signed up for like in February, and then it got postponed to May. And they never sent out new links, and the old link from February didn't work because I had it scheduled and I tried to hop on it but the link didn't work and they didn't send out new ones. So you might let them know to like look at their system and see who signed up for it back in February and make sure they have new links.
Oh, okay, that's odd because I signed up and didn't have any problems. Yeah, I'll let them know because I've emailed them to get me new updated stuff for the new one. So yeah, thanks for letting me know. We have a class coming up May 22nd via Zoom at 11 for mastering short-term rentals. So if you've ever been interested in kind of knowing more about that, it's a lot of information. So we're having a webinar on that. On June 4th, we've got Dominate the Newsfeed with Coach Courtney. So that'll be June 4th at 11 on Zoom. We do have additional classes coming up that I don't quite have flyers for, but I just wanted to give an update. The next commercial meeting is May 28th at 10 a.m. And of course, it's on Zoom. We do have some title classes coming up for some of like our new agents. We have quite a few new agents, and I think some of this would be very beneficial to help you guys kind of understand the workings of title and what goes on there. So we have understanding seller and buyer cost sheets, because you will get questions from your clients about what this fee is or that fee, and you need to understand what those sheets actually say and be reviewing them. And then title vesting and commitments class June 11th, because a lot of times, you know, you'll get your clients asking you how they should take title, which you need to have an understanding, right, of the differences, but ultimately you need to like point them towards, you know, title, or possibly even depending, some people's situations are complicated. It rarely comes up, but sometimes you almost want to point them to like their lawyer or something to ask, because they or possibly even their like CPA, because they have different financial situations, and possibly taking title different ways might be more advantageous for their situations. And we are certainly not like financial people or attorneys, or, you know, so but you still have to have a basic understanding of the different ways to take title and kind of point them in the right direction of where they might want to seek that information. And then we have Build Your Personal Brand coming up on June 18th as well at 11:30 via Zoom. We will get flyers for those. I just don't have them yet, but I wanted to mention them. And then the next office meeting will be June office meeting is the 13th. And then we've got our May
Wait, we didn't talk about homes.com.
Oh, oops.
So the big ta-da with the changes on the leads and the internet, with all those changes. So we have access to CoStar, and I Zoomed with CoStar last week. So they've purchased apartments.com, homes.com, and they've been upping these sites. So homes.com is actually pretty much like an MLS now. You can register for free. We have a discount, and I'm gonna send it out and put it on the agent info site. If you're a listing agent and you have listings, you can advertise. And then any of those leads coming in off your listing, those are your leads, right? So just like the rules, that's what this site's been building for. They've already known about the FCC laws and they've been getting ready. I am truly not sure where the MLS will go with no co-broke and the IDX and all that, the feeds. So when I spoke with CoStar and Homes.com, I was super excited. And even an agent that doesn't have a listing or a brand new agent can still be in there. You can even advertise if you need to. So we get discounts since we're already partnered with CoStar. So if you go on, we have a contact for registration, and then we can set up a homes.com class, like how to use it or the benefits in June if we want. So we'll get that information out. But I always feel like, okay, well, with this change, what's the new thing coming? What's happening? So I just don't want you guys all signing up and everyone's all over the place. So using one contact, then you can get taken care of, right? So do you guys have any questions?
No, but I did hear that Homes.com is trying to like overtake Zillow. So this kind of makes
Yep.
sense.
Yep. And
Pushing
we want
hard.
that. We want
Mhm.
it.
Yep.
Zillow's going to be truly affected, you guys, by a lot of these. And they're also a brokerage. There are things they still have to follow that we all do too. Unless they shut that down. And they opened up lending and title. So we've always fought that, right? Like ensuring your database and your marketing and that you get the business back, it's your listing. And I feel like since MLS started marketing to all these sites, we've even lost all that data ourselves. So I don't know what it looks like. And I would rather be out front and a step ahead with information, even though sometimes it can be scary. Because this is the only thing I've ever known also as a realtor, but being open and embracing to change of, okay, this is maybe a new site. And let me tell you, CoStar bought LoopNet. They completely own commercial. So I definitely want to be in the good graces on the residential side. If that's the direction they're going, they very well could take out Zillow. And I spoke with a brokerage in California, and California passed a law that they have to put all their listings in the MLS. And Lisa can always find out. I don't believe we have that law in Arizona. So
Not
to
yet.
find, yeah. So, and I don't know if it'll come but again, they're trying to say, I was on a Zoom with NAR. They're like, oh, everyone's going to use MLS. Well, if there's no co-broke guaranteed and you're not fishing our site, our listings out to other IDXs and marketing, what's the point of it? So you're gonna see pocket listings, you're gonna see listing agents putting their listings on different sites. So Lisa and I are trying to be in the know. If you guys get information, share them with us, because I feel like the more knowledge we have, it's not as scary and overwhelming, right? If we just put our heads in the sand, that's not okay either. So, I don't know. I'm almost so tired of 10 different MLSs and boards in the state. So I'd be happy if we just had one. That's just my opinion. So,
Yeah.
So you guys don't be afraid to reach out, especially during the office meeting, ask questions. If you've been doing business a certain way, it's just kind of shifted a little bit, or get creative and try doing things a little differently. And it still goes back to your relationships, your connections, and you talking to people. It's not, not making 1,000 phone calls a day, right? So anyway.
Yeah, it's the organic relationships. And sorry, I forgot to make a homes.com slide. I kept thinking there was something else. I completely forgot. This week has been a
It's
little.
okay. Yeah, it was really neat to see. They're really, they've got a lot of commercials. He showed me the commercials. He's like, we can do a big presentation for your brokerage. And, I always ask, what about the agents? What do they get? Can we get a discount? What about our brand new agents that maybe don't have listings? Like what can we do? Because obviously you need to get going. So there's something in there for everyone. So we'll share that information, okay?
Awesome. Any questions before I go on to awards or anything else I forgot? No? Okay. All right, May Agent Awards. So our agent of the month for May is Lalea. She has been with us for a couple years now. She went through our coaching program. She's out of the coaching program now and selling real estate, working her sphere, her clients. She's doing a fabulous job. She's got a couple things going on right now and working real hard, and we just wanted to recognize her. It's been a minute, and we wanted to say, hey, we're proud of you. Keep up the good work. I'm not sure if she's on here or not, but we'll let her know if she couldn't make it today. And then our President's Award goes out to Sean Brown. Sorry, I can talk today. I like hurt my wisdom tooth. Anyways, I'm having a hard time talking. So anyway, Sean Brown is our President's Award today. We just want to recognize Sean. Sean's been with us for many years. Gosh, I don't even know how long now. So many I can't remember. But he is a big leader in our commercial division. He does a lot of our commercial stuff. He's been extremely busy with commercial lately. He's also been busy with residential, which mostly Sean works on commercial, but he's actually been super busy in both lately. So we just wanted to recognize Sean for all that he does. And our Rising Star Award goes to Deborah. She's in the coaching program and she's just really embracing the coaching program and working hard and working through all the different aspects of it to get her business set up and running. And we're really proud of her. So we just wanted to recognize her for that.
Yay.
Yay! Our Social Media Savvy Award goes to Ashley Common. She has been putting herself out there, posting on social media. As I'm sure it is for a lot of you, it's been scary for her to do. She's in our coaching program as well, and not something she has been super comfortable doing, but she is doing it and doing it regularly. And we're just really proud of her for getting outside of the box for herself and putting herself out there. And she's doing a fabulous job with it. And then we just wanted to recognize Spring Reed for the Market Resilience Award. Spring has been in she's in the coaching program. She's been working really hard. She had moved here. She doesn't know that many people, but she has really done a good job of just her social media and implementing things and growing her sphere and working the market and getting out there to know people and get out there. And she's just hanging in there and doing a really good job. So we just wanted to congratulate her on that and to keep up the good work. She's doing great. So that's all I have. We're just super proud, really, truly, of all of you guys. You work hard. We appreciate you. And we love hearing from you. So reach out if you have questions or thoughts, ideas, things you need. We like to hear from you. So we hope you're all doing well. And we're here for you. That's all I got. Anything
Thanks,
else?
Lisa. Do you guys have anything? Any questions? Anything?
I know there's
Anything
a lot,
you need?
but I
I
think
know. Diana's on. And Kim, I miss my Kim Samu.
nice.
I'm still here. I'm
That's
getting ready to list a house in Gilbert, so I'll be reaching
Awesome.
out. I don't know how long this one will last because it's going to be around the 500s. So
Well, it goes
should
quick,
be a
right?
quickie.
Nice.
Even UCB, I would have them do open houses, just to keep getting activity through, so.
Yeah. Yep, yep.
Oh, Carol says she may have one in Gilbert coming too. Awesome, you guys, that's awesome. We got agents that want to sit them open. Congrats, everyone. And again, reach out to Lisa and I if you have questions or you're hearing anything out there that we aren't hearing, like we need help, right? Or any classes you guys are wanting. Should we plan paddleboarding events? You guys tell me what you're wanting to do. I have 3 kayaks too, so I have 5 paddleboards and then 3 kayak if people want to use them. So, okay.
So Mara, is that paddleboard kayaking event that you set up, is that out at the river?
I haven't set one up. Usually I'll take you guys on the lakes. I've taken Stephanie, Carol on the river. Our rivers changed the last year because of the water. So, well, obviously the water, but the levels, right? The rapids, Pinball's a higher level now, and I actually did that last weekend, not meaning to. So, I can plan, Vicky can't swim. That's all right. I have life vests and I would make you wear one, Vicky. So, I have some paddle boards with kayak seats that you can attach or not attach. Paddle boards do not mean that you stand up. I like sitting on them because they're firmer than my kayaks. The kayaks I have are inflatable. So if anybody wants, I can plan for June and we can do like Lake Saguaro because you're walking out on sand and it's nice and it's just right nice into the lake. So yeah, if you guys want to do that, I'll take people on the river if they've done it before. I think I scared Carol, but
I would just
you
like to say I've been kayaking with Mara, and she's the only one down the river, the Verde River, and she's the only one that
Yeah.
turned her kayak over. I'm just saying.
we were drinking and I had more to drink, I think, than you. So that's not fair. But
But if Mara can do it, anyone can do it.
yeah. So yeah,
I'm
I
just
will
teasing.
yeah, I know. We can do Lake Pleasant. We were gonna do an event, but then Carol's husband was not doing well, right? So I was gonna actually put together a Lake Pleasant event, but I need to double check too that the lakes are safe. They've had some of them have had some allergies. So yeah, if you guys are game, maybe message me some days, like is Wednesday or Thursday better? Or is a Friday better? I don't know what works for everyone, but it's really not fun just going by myself. So, it can be like an hour or two. We pack some food and you're just sitting there and it's just nice to be out because of the animals. You might see wild horses and, I don't have to take you on the river. If we're doing it, we can do the lake. If you're wanting to do the river, just let me know. And yeah, Vicky says we can salsa dance. So, if you want to stand on the boards, I can help you with that because I was a newbie once also. I've grown up river rafting and then paddle boarded. I've done the rivers. We did Horseshoe Bend and that's actually the only time I fell in with the Colorado River because I was asleep and so relaxed. So yeah, it doesn't matter. I have wide boards, big boards, and I have skinny like women boards. So it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter size, your athletic abilities, because if you're just sitting, it's fine. But I can help you get on your knees and it's actually one of the best low impact exercises for you. So yeah.
Seems like a lot of people are interested, so.
Cool. Okay. I'll throw something together in June, see how, I don't know. Salty Jake is having his huge sale soon. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I usually get mine on Amazon in the winter, like November, December, because the boards go on sale, even the kayaks then. So yeah, I have boards if you guys want to borrow, and I have kayaks. I have a single seater, 2-seater, triple seater, and I tried to give them all to Scott and he wouldn't take them, so I don't know. I don't know if Scott's still on here or not, but I know we're just chatting away, so I'll put something together. And then if you guys have specific dates that work, let me know, because obviously we want to plan it when you can be there, so. Okay?
Yeah, Carol says just not Tuesday. Can't go on her golf day.
Tuesday. But those are things. So if it's like a Thursday or a Friday, I don't know what's better for everyone and families, right? I mean, we can go in a mid-morning too. So Kim says Friday. So
Yeah, usually a Thursday or Friday is better for me too. Monday, like the first part of the
Yeah.
week's usually crazy.
yeah, and I feel like during the day, that way, if their kids are somewhere, they can get them to daycare or whatever, or whatnot during the day. Then it's not in the client time period too. So, okay, awesome. Thanks, Lisa, for a good meeting.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks, everyone. Good to
everyone.
see you guys.
Okay.
You all have to go paddleboarding if you were on this meeting, just so you know.
I enjoy it so much. I enjoy it so much.
All right, bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.